The cold winter weather is coming, and the team at Peerless Boilers, they're ready to help you prepare for this season. It's time to make sure your home is nice and warm for the cold weather. Save loads of money on your fuel bill. Do it now before it's too late and you've got a mess on your hands. Start thinking about replacing your old beast of a boiler with a new high-efficiency Peerless Boiler. Go to peerlessboilers.com, pop in your zip code, and you'll find a dealer near you. Remember, Peerless Boilers, the world's best-built boilers, and proud sponsor of Sid and Friends in the Morning, live from Israel.
Oi! This is Sid and Friends in the Morning. 77 WABC.
The great Howard Jones. I once saw this guy at Radio City. I'd like to get to know you well, Howard Jones. Back from Israel now a couple of weeks, and had the opportunity to spend a lot of time with the best tour guide in Israel. She's the best. One Israel Fund. Scott Feldman did a good job by getting her. Name is Eve Harow. She's become very close with my family. She's been on the show a bunch of times already, and she's coming on today for a very important reason. Folks who think back to October the 7th. You may remember that was a Saturday morning. It was gorgeous. It was Shabbat. It was Shabbat, I should say. But it was also a holiday. And that holiday is actually coming up tomorrow, Simchat Torah. So once again, the people of Israel who went through that horrible day, October the 7th, they have to go through it all over again tomorrow. We were there October the 7th, but tomorrow will also be a very solemn day. Here's Eve Harow. Eve, good morning, sweetheart. How are you?
Hi, Sid. Well, here it's actually almost Simchat Torah. I just set up my candles to light, and in about half an hour or so, we're going to start what will still be a holiday. It's not going to be a somber day. We're not going to let it be a somber day. That's what our enemies wanted to do. So we're going to think about the people who died tragically horrible deaths last year, and we are going to be joyous in the fact that we are starting our reading of the Torah cycle, our yearly reading, once again, that the people of Israel are strong, that our phenomenal army has killed thousands of the evil ones in the last year. And what happened last year is never going to happen again. So it's the usual mixture of grief and joy, which pretty much how every day goes. Tomorrow is just going to be a lot more intense.
That's fair. And, like I told you, I was in Efrat to break the fast, and that's usually a solemn day in the United States, and it was nuts. It was nuts. It was great. People were dancing and singing, and I got a video this morning from Judah again yesterday. But it is important that people here at least know that in Israel tomorrow is that day, the holiday that was on October 7th. Yes.
Yes, it is. Look, we actually live by two different calendars here in Israel. You know, we live by the world's calendar, and as you said, October 7th is that day. But we also mark our Hebrew calendar. That's where our holidays are. It was a beautiful full moon last week. The holiday of Sukkot is in the middle of the month, as are most of our holidays. So we're kind of lunar solar people, and we're very connected to God that way, and to the land that way, and to nature. And Simchat Torah is that day for many of us, where people were dancing at the Nova Festival. They were dancing in synagogues. They were dancing. We're going to continue to dance. So I'm a little nervous about tomorrow, about my own reaction to tomorrow, because again, there's still war going on. My own son was called back in. My kids' friends all back in. They're all serving now. I live in Judea, which ironically has been one of the quieter places in the country, Judea and Samaria in the center of the country. I just spoke to my friend who lives in Aria. They were just in their shelters because of what's going on up north. So we really lived minute to minute, celebrated my grandson's first birthday this morning. He was born at the beginning of the war last year. So that kind of marks that for us. He's a beautiful child. And we just really appreciate the moments, all of the moments, because we don't know what tomorrow is going to bring. That's how it is.
No, you're right, but you also said that we've killed thousands, and certainly the kill last week of Sinwar was a very, very, very big one. You know, Nasrallah's gone, Sinwar is gone. 4 or 5 of the most brutal of leaders when it comes to both Hamas and Hezbollah are now dead. They're gone. Bibi made that point just last week. So the war may be raging on, and more of our kids and your grandkids, God bless them, may be called into battle. But you cannot deny the fact that Bibi Netanyahu and the Israel army has done an amazing job in 1 year of basically wiping out the head of the enemy.
We have. I mean, it's really incredible, and miracles abound, and the soldiers are just beyond. I mean, they're something else entirely. But we also don't feel, and you know this because you were here, that we're just doing it for ourselves. And the head of the snake, we still have to remember, is Iran. The goal of Iran is to take all the good people out of Western civilization, Jews and Christians. So what we're doing here is defending our borders, and we want to do it ourselves. We do not ask for anybody else's boots on the ground. But it would be nice if the world recognized, wasn't in our faces all the time about this, that this is much bigger than just Israel. I mean, we're at the forefront of something so much bigger. So, I mean, if the world doesn't want to help, and I'm thinking of like France, for example, at least don't get in our way.
Right.
And yes, but our prime minister is doing a great job because he understands. He understands how big this picture is, and that we cannot stop fighting until total victory. Whatever that looks like, we are not going to stop fighting until we've given. Look, you're not going to kill Hamas because it's an ideology, or Hezbollah. It's a death ideology. It's a death cult. And you're not going to be able to get rid of that. But what we can do is keep them from doing what they want to do, which is killing all of us. And that we're in the middle of doing it as much as we possibly can. It's not easy, but we have faith. We have a tremendous country. We have wonderful friends like you outside the country who we know are thinking about us and doing everything they can for us at any given moment. And that's tremendously heartening. It really is. I have to say to all of you who are listening to this show, you don't know how much that means to us. It really does.
And you have no idea what that means to me. You just made me cry now, Eve Harow. Stop that. This is from the One Israel Fund, my friend Eve Harow, because it does mean a lot to me. And you know, you don't just say it when Eve is on the radio program. I must tell you that when I was in Israel a couple of weeks ago, time and time again, people came up to me and said, thank you, thank you, thank you. And you mentioned the Prime Minister, and certainly the trip was amazing. Going to the Jordan border with you that Wednesday morning was great. Being down in Sderot on that Monday morning was unbelievable. We had so many great trips together, that dinner Wednesday night in Samaria. But it had to bring you some joy when you set it up through your friends, the great Tila and Simon Falek, watching Bibi and me interact in that house right after Yom Kippur a couple of weeks ago. How cool was that?
It was great. It was really great because you see, you know, two strong people, each working in your own different arena and, you know, doing what you can. And it's wonderful. It's wonderful connecting people who get each other, who appreciate each other, who respect each other, who get it on the head from a whole lot of people. I mean, you know what he's going through. I'm sure you know you don't always get fan mail, but people who stick to their own guns, stick to their own truth, and understand that despite all the naysayers, you know, you have to keep going and you have to keep doing. And so when people get together like that and are able to help each other and strengthen each other, then that's what it's all about.
And that's what that night was. It was great.
I took them down to the Western Negev. They were celebrating your granddaughter's bar mitzvah, and I was with that family on Monday. And we didn't do the Negev the way you and I did it, which is, you know, seeing where the rotten things happen, because it was about mitzvah, and it's about the children, it's about the future, it's about joy. Yeah. So we picked raspberries, and we did art, and we saw potatoes being plowed, and we saw life and future, and that's what it's all about. And we're not going to stop doing it. There's a Hebrew saying that you sow in tears, joy. So we're doing the sowing with an O in tears, and we are absolutely looking forward to reaping in joy. That's how it goes.
I love it. Hey, do me a favor, too. Make sure that you send my best and Justin to my friend Nam over there at the farm. You know, I opened up the olive oil last night, so it's a big deal here in New York.
Her olive oil is sitting on my counter right now. That's what I use for all my cooking. It's the best. Yeah. And the strength of her strength, her faith, her beauty goes into that olive oil. It does. It's more than just olive oil. It's the spirit of the people who grow it and the land together. It's very powerful. Enjoy every drop.
That was also an amazing visit, and Michael Rappaport had the opportunity after me, not the same farm, he never had a chance to meet the great Nam, but he went to a farm as well and loved it too. Well, listen, I'm going to see you next month in December at the One Israel Fund Big Dinner. I want you to enjoy this holiday tomorrow. We will be thinking about you guys there on this day, whether it's solemn or celebratory, and we can't love you any more than we do, Eve Harow. You're great.
Thank you. Thank you, Sid. It's really a privilege to live this life and to do what I do. I'm very humbled and very grateful, and being able to meet people like you and tour you around Israel with Tanakh in hand and maps, it's fantastic. And thank you so much for being the great listener that you are. You're a host, but you're also a listener. I don't know if your listeners know that.
Well, thank you. I love you, Eve Harow. I really do. Thank you so much, and we will see you again very, very soon. Be safe and be happy, okay?
Absolutely, and Chag Sameach to all of you.
And you too. That's our friend Eve Harow, Chag Sameach, One Israel Fund. If you go to Israel, folks, you got to look her up. That is the best tour you're going to do. Eve Harow, One Israel Fund.